Okay, people, before we get started, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. We drop new episodes of FORNEVERNEWS every Saturday, 12 p.m. EST, and we re-upload some of those segments throughout the week for your viewing pleasure. I'd appreciate each and every person that hits that subscribe button and that bell. Without further ado, I don't want to waste your time. Let's get into it. Fans of Boruto, Naruto Next Generation, you know, I love me some Boruto. I got some unfortunate news in a way. Now, this news that I'm about to tell you guys, because there is some good news down this episode, so watch or whatever, but this news in particular regarding Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, the manga at the very least is not so good. Now, granted, the information is not necessarily complete, but it's still showing that the Boruto manga at the very least is not doing great, and it's going down further and further. I remember, you know, a couple years ago, it was at least usually, and what I'm referring to is the sales of the manga, those volumes sometimes would do, you know, close to 100k, or I believe even over 100k. Years back it was doing over 100k or something like that, and gradually over time, and I've tried not to put a spotlight on it, I wanted to see where it went, that's why I never really, you know, pointed out as like a major issue until now. We've seen a gradual decline in the Boruto manga sales. Now, granted, the Boruto IP in and of itself is a very tricky situation. If you check out my video over there on my other channel, ForneverWorld, I kind of discussed a little bit of how it all works when it comes to this Boruto franchise and whatnot. It's not the same thing as like a typical manga that's serialized in, for example, Weekly Shonen Jump. For starters, Boruto was serialized in V-Jump, and because the anime merchandising and stuff like that is so successful, it would shoot themselves in the foot to cancel Boruto. So even hypothetically, if the Boruto manga gets to the point of selling like just absolutely terrible rookie numbers, there's a high probability that they probably are still not going to cancel it, simply because the IP, Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, Boruto and Naruto, both of them together, the franchises, make a lot of money. They make a shit ton of money, despite the fact that manga sales aren't hot at all. But we got the first 3-day sales for the latest volume of Boruto, and yeah, it doesn't look great at all. Granted, this isn't a complete week, but based on estimations and whatnot, I could kind of do the math of what it would do in a full 7 days. That's how they do, like, you know, record sales predictions. If you ever follow any of that, when they say, hey, Drake is about to do 250 first week, and he does somewhere between 225 and 260 or something like that, depending on what happens in between that week. Yeah, let's take a look, because according to this, it says Oricon week 1 is here for Boruto volume 18. Not the best showing, only managed to accumulate 32.8 thousand, basically 32,800 hard copy sales, but this is across, and this is wrong, this is 3 days, not 2 days. And yeah, week 1 it comes in, and we'll discuss the full top 50 manga sales later on in this episode. If you're watching the full episode, if you're watching a clip, then yeah, go watch the full episode. Yeah, week 1 sales 32,837, ranking in at number 9 with 3 days of sales. I say with a full 7 days, it's not going to necessarily be like 70,000 or anything like that. With a full 7 days, it probably would have done about 50 to 60, and I might be being generous. It just really depends on what the reaction to it is and what was the main causes as to why the sales are this low. It could just very well be attributing to, hey, people are losing interest little by little, which has been the case for the manga. Like, yeah, I mean, they've tried to do different things. I believe the last volume didn't have any of the previous gen characters. It had like Code and, you know, the army that he was building, and this one they slapped adult Shikamaru on it, and it still really didn't help much. Now, granted, again, with a full week doing 50 to 60 wouldn't be too bad, and when we get those sales, I'll report them and I'll let you guys know, hey, it actually did okay-ish. But 32,000 in 3 days is just showing that the Boruto manga in terms of success is not doing or living up to what it should. In comparison, I believe the latest Dragon Ball Super volumes in a full like 5 to 7 days was doing like 100,000 plus, and they're both kind of like on the same level in terms of they're both released in V-Jump. They're both legacy titles continuing on. It's just that Dragon Ball continued on with the characters everybody wanted to see from the original fan base, and Boruto went a different route and tried to garner a new fan base while still trying somewhat to maintain, you know, the OG Naruto fandom in there. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and I know some people are gonna take this and run with it and say ForneverWorld is going in on Boruto. I don't know where's your brain when I'm telling you, hey, I really rock with the series. I really want to see it succeed. This is heartbreaking. I don't like seeing this. I want Boruto to be successful. There's been times in the manga, I've said it over on my main channel a million times, where I legitimately felt like I was reading Naruto back with all the big battles and stuff like that, where Boruto was fighting Boro and a whole bunch of cool stuff. I felt like, yo, this is what I originally signed up for many years ago. So to see the sales where it's at right now is sad, and I'm hoping something can shake up. And honestly, it's a broken record at this point to say it, but I'm gonna say it. The biggest thing that can save this right now is a massive time skip and an overhaul of the tone and everything about the series, because if we continue on like this, okay, we're doing 32.8 at this point. 3 volumes from now, what are we gonna look like? Are we gonna be doing, you know, 40 or 30,000 in a full 7 days? That's not a good look, especially considering this is a spin-off of one of the hugest manga ever made. Naruto is one of the biggest of all time, so to see this, it's downright heartbreaking and sad. But let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like there's a way other than like what I suggested? Again, a big overhaul, you know, change up the name even a little. If you got to put Boruto Shippuden, Boruto Z, or, you know, just Naruto Next Generations, Ninja Chronicles, Boruto Bad, whatever the hell you got to do. That was just an off the top of the head idea. Relax before, oh, like, yo, people take everything out of context nowadays. Jesus Christ. But yeah, in 3 days, Boruto doing 32,000 with a volume. Not the greatest look in the world, but we do got a lot of other great Boruto and Naruto related news in this episode. For starters, the next story that we're about to talk about is pretty exciting to hear. Well, actually 2 pieces of news. I got a couple of more. Like, we got some stuff. Because for starters, it says apparently next week's weekly Shonen Jump issue will contain must-see information about the Himawari Ninja Academy arc. And I'm wondering if the must-see information is that it's over. No, I have no idea what this must-see information could be. It could be that they're going to bring in a character that's from the manga that hasn't been shown yet. It could be that they're going to bring in a character from, like, you know, maybe the OG Naruto series and they're going to be involved somehow. Like, I'm not sure exactly what this must-see information could be, but it's a little bit promising. Despite me being harsh on the latest arc of Boruto, there's a next episode preview for the next episode that's going to have, like, apparently the kids dressing up as, like, OG Ninja, Minato, Jiraiya, and stuff like that. So that kind of sounds okay-ish, and I don't know if maybe that's what they're promoting. Like, this is a must-see. Somebody's gonna cosplay as Jiraiya and Boruto, and that's not must-see. That's cool, that's funny, that's a little entertaining, that's not must-see. So we'll see what this big news is supposed to be. And then in bigger and more exciting news than even that, Naruto's 20th anniversary projects will be revealed in the next week's issue of Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 43. So next week's issue, we're gonna find out what big projects they have for Naruto, and I wonder what they're gonna do at this point. Honestly, there's a lot that they could do if I'm just keeping it real. They still could explore with films and all sorts of stuff, that time period in between Shippuden and Boruto beginning. They could do a Boruto original film that's like really exciting or something like that. Like, they could do some stuff, but yeah, I'm very excited to see what any of this is going to be. Also, I'm imagining there's a huge possibility maybe the next Cyber Connect 2 game could get announced of, hey, the Boruto Storm is coming. That will be probably one of the most exciting things to come out of the franchise in forever. Like, oh my god, I want to play that game so bad. If that rumor that seemingly was substantiated to a certain degree by trusted sources is legit, that would be great. Like, hey, video game, original movie, maybe an announcement of the next arc, and it's like super exciting even if it's anime original. Those 3 right there would be great. Or dare I say it, hey, the next installment in the Boruto Naruto verse, and it's something like a spin-off or an original story that's really hype, like a, I don't know, Minato manga. Oh my God, that would be fire. I ain't gonna lie. I want that. But yeah, people, Boruto sales on the decline, continuing. Must-see information incoming regarding the Boruto anime's Himawari Academy arc. And next week we'll get some new information or some reveals for Naruto's 20th anniversary projects. And I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully it's something for all of us to enjoy. Not only just, you know, OG Naruto fans or Boruto fans. We can all get together and have a good time.
I have a dream, alone in my room as I sit with the tea. Couldn't possibly think what I often see, and you don't even know how I often blink. Lights be flashing and looking at me, such a odd unique, yet I'm so unique and you're looking at me. If the walls could talk, they would probably read bleak, and I'd probably say, bitch, get the fuck off me.